What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going over 10 things that I use in my stream to give me an edge over the competition. Streaming is a constantly growing, evolving mess of a industry, and it's important for us to keep new things coming into our streams and make things exciting and worthwhile to watch. So today I got 10 easy things you can start using on your streams, and the very last one is my new favorite. As always, want to thank you guys for stopping by. Let's get into the easy ones first. Number one is InShot. InShot is a simple video editor where you can take clips and you can make reels, shorts, and TikToks out of very easily. It's a very hands-on, it's very inexpensive. There is a free version, but I went ahead and just did the subscription base. I think it was like $30 for a year. This has enabled me to make better reels, better content in short form, which has been a huge turnaround in this industry. If you have good shorts and reels and TikToks, it can drive a lot more traffic and a lot more attention to your other external social medias to really drive traffic back onto your live stream. And another app that I use all the time is Adobe Spark, which is now called Adobe Express. I liked Spark better. It was much easier to use, but I still use Adobe Express. I use this to make my thumbnails and all the stuff that any kind of images I need to edit out. Adobe Express has been very handy, and there's a free version with this as well in a subscription base. It allows me to make better thumbnails and more engaging content when I make posts about my live stream. Third thing that I use is I recommend this to most streamers, and most of you probably won't understand it at first, but it's worth stepping into. There are free DAWs out there, digital audio workstations like GarageBand and Reaper. These are crucial if you want to add any kind of elements in the audio department on your stream. You can record voiceovers on there. You can record instruments. They have a bunch of presets where you can bring in different instruments for anything. I have made custom music, custom alerts. I've used both Reaper and GarageBand. I was on GarageBand for a long time. I just started using Reaper. And along with Reaper, you get the plugins, the VST plugins that you can use through OBS to make your audio sound that much better. I really strongly recommend you look into DAWs, digital audio workstations, for your live stream to benefit your alerts and make things more custom for you. The more original content you can create on your stream, the better. Anybody can take a clip from a video or a TV show and put it on their live stream, but not everybody is doing custom alerts and custom sounds. So it's worth thinking about. Number 4 is an external mixer. Now this could be anything as elaborate as a Go XLR Pro or whatever. I just use a Behringer mixer. But what I like about using a mixer and XLR microphones is I'm allowed to bring guests onto my stream very easily, and it gives me external control, so I'm not just relied on software. Also, it allows me to bring in other instruments if I want to do that with my live stream. So adding a USB mixer of some sort, whether it's a Go XLR Pro or that Rode Procaster, that one's very expensive. I've been watching it. I kind of want it, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger. Or just a simple Behringer mixer. Allows me to have guests on up to, I got like a 12-channel mixer here, so I can do a lot of extra stuff and add things to my stream. So it's very unique in that way. Of course, if you just have like a standard USB microphone, you're not really going to be looking at this. But if you ever want to make the switch to XLR, do consider getting an actual USB mixer instead of just like the interface, because it'll work as an interface but also give you external controls and stuff like that too. Along with effects, I can add all sorts of different effects to my voice if I want to before it goes into OBS. Number 5 is using a bot. So on Facebook I use Noxbot all the time, but of course Twitch has a couple different bots. I think there's a bot on there that's like a jerk or something like that. You should be using bots on your stream. Not everybody uses a bot correctly though. Let's just go over some real quick tips on your bot usage. Make sure that you delay the messages for your bot that are auto scripted to come out and separate them away from the other ones. You do not want to have this problem. I see this on new streamers all the time, and some people, they're just not aware of it. Their bot will make like 6 posts dun, 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 in the chat, and then it goes away. Time it out and space things out for it to kind of pop in here and there. You'll have better reach with the messages you want people to see. Also, there are variants in these bots that you want to set. Don't just have one message that says, hey, make sure you like and subscribe. It should be more like, hey, make sure you like and subscribe. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, check out this. And then something else. You can have up to like 3 or 5 variants depending on which bot you are using. Also, you should consider liking and subscribing to this video because it really does actually help out with the YouTube algorithm. Number 6, Streamlabs alerts. Now, I don't have anything against Stream Elements. I'm not aware of it, so I don't want to talk about Stream Elements, but if you're using Stream Elements, great. Any kind of extra alerts and stuff for your streams are always a definite added engagement. But you can go in and make custom alerts through Streamlabs. You can make variants on the custom alerts that you made. So you don't have to have one like come up. You can have different types of likes come up. You can have different types of shares, different types of stars. You can even create scare alerts and everything else through Streamlabs alerts. And then when people, send a specific star amount, this alert will go out, or a specific bid amount, this alert will go off. It's very, very easy to set up. You just got to toy with it. Don't be afraid to go through the Streamlabs alerts and kind of poke around a bit and understand all the different things you can do. I also, while I'm live streaming, have learned to leave my dashboard open from Streamlabs and occasionally just click on some of my extra things just to come out on stream. So you can actually set up like some custom alerts and put some weird title to it. And that's another control. Number 7 is capture cards. I am a console streamer, so my capture cards are very, very important to my stream. So you don't want to necessarily go cheap on this route. I recommend the Cloner Alliance, AverMedia, or Elgato. Those are the 3 big ones that I've used and had great experiences with. If you don't have a big budget, Mirrorbox does make some decent ones, but they have slight coloring issues. But if you're just starting out, it's not a make or break. I think that's a reasonable way to get started. That way you don't break the bank, and then 6 months later you don't want to stream anymore anyway. So it's definitely worth considering those cheaper routes just to get your feet wet. But a capture card goes beyond just the gaming. You can capture my video. I can capture a lot of different things as far as the consoles and all the different stuff that you do. So it's not like a limited thing. So having a couple extra capture cards really helps out. And honestly, it's less pressure on your PC if you have an external console running your gameplay. Now, you could definitely avoid all this and just go with it. But if you don't have an expensive PC, but you happen to have a Nintendo Switch, you can get a reasonably priced capture card and get your stream working. And it'll allow you to play whatever you want. So I play Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, you name it. I do everything on my stream through my capture cards. Now, I don't usually recommend cameras, but I do want to at least mention one thing that really helps out with my stream, and it's going to take a major role coming forward here, is I use a GoPro as my camera, even for this YouTube content. I know a DSLR would look a lot better, but because I use green screen for 99% of what I do with my stream and these videos, I don't need that blur or that big deep lens. I just need some type of clear image to get my message across. But I love my GoPro because it's going to allow me to take that camera and go out and do other footage to add more content to my stream. And GoPros are excellent as far as resisting, shake and camera shake and all that stuff. They're extremely accessible, and the mounts and everything else just kind of open up the door. So if that interests you at all, and you're thinking you don't know what kind of camera to get for your setup, but you also want to do external stuff too, depending what that external stuff is, you might want to consider doing a GoPro. Now, I used the Hero 9, and I had to get the media attachment for it too. So it wasn't actually that cheap. It was pretty expensive, but I am happy with it, and I would recommend it to a streamer that wants to do external stuff with a lot of action and shakiness, and you don't want to invest in gimbals and $2,000 for a camera. Definitely worth looking into. Number 9 is I recommend a green screen. I just do. It makes streaming a lot easier. You can do a lot more custom stuff with a green screen. So I jump around from retro games to modern games. So sometimes the ratios are not the same. If you remember this, like when we were kids, our TVs were kind of square. Now they're widescreen. Well, same with games and everything else. Sometimes I'll stream a modern game and it's stretched out. Sometimes it's this. So I have room for a camera box, and sometimes I don't. But I figured universally a green screen just made the most sense. And they're very, very inexpensive. You can paint your wall green. You can get a green sheet, or you can buy a green screen off of Amazon for like $20, and they work great as long as you have good lighting. And for those of you that stayed to the end of this video, the very last tip, I'm very excited about this. This is my new favorite thing to tinker with that helps me do a lot of the stuff that you guys see on this channel. A lot of stuff that I do in my highlight clips and all that kind of stuff is DaVinci Resolve. I got the free version of DaVinci Resolve, and I expected it to work kind of shitty on my computer because my computer is not overpowered. It's better than OpenShot. I was using OpenShot for the longest time. DaVinci Resolve is excellent for video editing. It just takes a little bit to get used to it. So if you are looking into that video editing, which I do recommend for streamers, you're just absolutely going to have to figure out how to do video editing if you want to stand out against the competition. There's so much extra stuff that we have to do as streamers besides going live, and that's kind of the inspiration of this video. I found myself kind of upgrading and going through my content, trying to invigorate some new ideas and new things I wanted to do, so I figured I would share the things that I like using the most. So look into DaVinci Resolve. It's a free video editor software. It is excellent, absolutely excellent. Look, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you learned anything at all, if you're going to try any of these tips, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can keep up with my weekly content, making us all better streamers. I make this content every week based off of my own experiences. I share them to you. We'll see you next week.
My shell crunch brings all the joy to the yard. I'm like, it's making me hard. Damn right,